And that is Pillow Talk. And I just wanted to, again, keep going with the alpha male, beta male situation that we got going on. And I just wanted to also say about this alpha male strategy and mediocre tutorial. That I watch their videos. I do that, well, mediocre more than the alpha male strategy guy. But anyway, I just wanted to say that these men are on sinking ships and trying to take down as many people who will follow them as possible. Okay, because like they say, when Satan will give you some information that's the wrong way, and he'll have you going down that wrong path, and he don't care how you fall from grace as long as you keep falling. And that's all these men are doing, is they're falling from grace. And they're leading people with them. They're on a sinking ship. You know what I mean? Because you're talking about, first of all, women did not invent marriage. We did not. It was Adam who was alone, who needed a spouse, who wanted a spouse. Okay, we didn't invent that. So this whole idea of marriage being a woman's thing, where we didn't come up with the concept of marriage. That wasn't even something that we invented. So marriage was for both of y'all. You guys both receive out of it, whether it is emotionally, mentally, physically, economically. There's benefits for both of you. You play a role, and in that role, you guys come together and create a family that is supposed to, because marriage itself is wonderful. But you guys have to understand, if you are not wonderful in that marriage, then it won't be. So you have to understand that marriage, there's nothing wrong with marriage. Absolutely nothing. Marriage, like I said, is a wonderful thing. But just like life, it is what you make of it. If you choose to not love and devalue the person that you're with, then guess what? And that goes for male or female, then your marriage will be hell. And so I wanted to touch base on one of the things that was said in the video. And one of the things that was said in the video is that men were upset about not being able to be vulnerable or find somebody to be vulnerable with and express themselves and such and such. And this is what I gotta say on the men who don't feel like they can be vulnerable. That is your fault. You want to know why I say that? Because you want to know why you can't be vulnerable? Because you know what you did to the woman who was vulnerable with you. You dogged her. You dogged her. You dogged her out for being that vulnerable with you. So you know karma exists. You going to finally become vulnerable, and karma is a bitch, because it's going to come back and bite you in your ass, because God is real. You reap what you sow. You know what I mean? So you done made that bed with that woman and did that woman. She was vulnerable with you. She gave you her all. You dogged her out when she was vulnerable with you. And now you not comfortable being vulnerable, because you now assume everybody going to treat you the way you have treated them. That's why. And that's your own fault. Because you made your own bed. Now you lying in it. Now you can't rely on find a confidant that you can and you can be vulnerable with, and you mad. Well, you wouldn't have had that outlook if when you found a woman that was willing to be vulnerable with you, you didn't take advantage of her. So now you walking around here thinking that you can't, and now you walking around here messed up because there ain't nobody for you to be vulnerable with, because you mistreated the woman you could have been vulnerable with. That's your own fault. Like, I hope I'm saying this right. Like, I want you to understand that you created that mentality when you mistreated the woman who was vulnerable with you. Now you saw what you did to somebody who was vulnerable, so you assuming that's going to get done to you, because that's what you deserve. So now you so afraid, I ain't going to let my guard down because that ain't going to happen to me. Ain't even happening to you, but you afraid of it. It's just like white people with the repercussions of racism. You know what I mean? You're afraid of black people because you know what you deserve. You know how you deserve to be treated versus what's really going on, because you're not getting mistreated. But you know karma's a bitch. When you let your guard down, you just might get your ass bit. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion on why men will not allow themselves to be vulnerable with women, because you know what you, and I will say it again, you know what you did to somebody who was vulnerable with you. So now you expecting people to be just like you, take advantage of one that's vulnerable. Well, baby, let me tell you something. Karma is a bitch. And you are going to get your ass. And I'm not saying there's men out there that didn't get their ass bit first, and that's the reason why they choose not to love anymore. But if I'm a woman and I've had my heart broken and I can muster up, and everybody's not the same, but I done had my heart broken before. And if I can muster up the courage to try to love again, to try to fix myself, then I think you men who are claiming to be alpha should be able to do the same damn thing. That's all I'm saying.
So.